Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael or Kubera, and today we are discussing the Dow Jones dropping. Oh, it was a massive drop, over 3,000 points, and we're going to be discussing gold dropping and cryptocurrency. So stay tuned, roll the intro. This downturn might be just getting started. Let the recession watch begin. So I know a lot of you have different perspectives on the recession, whether it's going to start this year or 2021, or whether it's even going to arrive, or maybe 2022. Honestly, I think the recession might arrive, whether it's this year or next year, but probably sometime soon. There's already been a lot of indicators for this, and the Dow Jones falling 3,000 points is a pretty good sign that, hey, something's a little awry. And then the coronavirus unfortunately came around January, February, and this affected a lot of companies. The stocks fell down. So there's the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. It's pretty crazy. It was at 29,423 on February 13th. February 19th, 29,348. All right, so it dropped a tiny bit. February 20th, 29,219, and then boom, February 25th, 27,000, 25,000, and currently it's at 25,409. But before we get into the Dow Jones, we're going to read this. You okay, Boomer? Gold sees the biggest loss since 2013 as Bitcoin steadies. Gold dropped 7% in 5 days after a coronavirus sell-off. Over the past 5 days, between February 24th and February 29th, a total of 7.3% was lost before there was a slight rebound. Here is the chart. After rebounding from 4-week lows of $8,450, Bitcoin has returned to its forecast average price and has since attempted to reclaim its 200-day moving average near $8,800. Gold, on the other hand, was at $1,584. Now, Peter Schiff, he's a notable figure from Wall Street. He says, gold is not invalidated. Today's 4% drop in gold is a very rare move in a single day, but it does happen occasionally. However, a 4% drop in Bitcoin is quite common, which often posts daily declines much larger. Today's move doesn't invalidate gold's safe haven or long-term store of value status. Now, Anthony Pompliano, Cheek and Bone, he suggested that someone should check on Schiff due to gold's health waning. The Dow Jones suffered its own record-breaking daily loss on Wednesdays. Traders have since overwhelmingly bet on the United States Federal Reserve cutting its short-term interest rate target significantly in 2020. Even Trump had to make a few events about coronavirus. The stock market fell too far this past week, or the stock market didn't fall enough. Both these statements might be true. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slumped 3,583.5 points, or 12% to 25,409.36, while the S&P 500 index tumbled 11% to 2,954.22, and the NASDAQ Composite slid 11% to 8,567. All three benchmarks suffered their worst weekly drop since October 2008. To put that in perspective, the S&P 500 shed more than 4 months of gains in just 7 trading days. That's crazy. Investors had been hoping that coronavirus would remain in China, but it managed to breach that, went to Italy and South Korea, and that was pretty crazy. This is a good website about the coronavirus, and it tells you it's updating. So it's got 86,033 cases so far, 2,942 deaths, and we can check out all the countries. So China's at 79,257, South Korea's at 3,150, and Italy's at 1128. Wow, it broke ground. So it broke above 1,000. That's crazy. The Diamond Princess was that cruise ship based off of Japan. And Italy now has 29 total deaths. 239 cases in Italy. Man, that's moving fast. Iran's next. Japan, Singapore. The USA's only got 68. UK's got 23. Denmark 3. Brazil. Russia's got 2. Ireland. Yeah, Poland's still not on here, so that's a good thing. In America, some states don't have coronavirus yet, so it's not the entirety of America, so don't freak out yet. If you are in an area like Italy, though, they have been stockpiling on food. So certain towns have been having food shortages, and the grocery stores are shutting down. China's just all over the place. If the stock market had been priced for earnings acceleration in 2020, by the end of the week, it was priced for no growth. After a tumble like that, a rally could be in the offing. After all, this isn't the first time that an epidemic has rocked the stock market. The S&P 500 fell 15% after SARS hit the market in 2003. So SARS was very similar to coronavirus, also kind of like from bats and also from China. that was a pretty big epidemic and it was covered up, but then it just grew too big. So the S&P was up just over 1% 6 months after the outbreak began. That's probably the most applicable historical guide to what the market is experiencing now. So, you know, it's not looking too bad, but it's looking rather funny. Don't expect any big gains coming soon. Bitcoin halving is in 72 days, by the way. So, I mean, if you're looking at gains, probably crypto has a better chance than stocks. There's no other factors at work than the virus alone. As the stock market sank into a correction this past week, we couldn't help but think back to March 2019 when the yield on the 10-year Treasury note fell below that of the 3-month bill. Such a yield curve inversion has been a fairly reliable sign that the recession is looming, but also an imperfect one because stocks rarely peak when the yield curve inverts. So they talk about the inverted yield curve a lot when discussing about the recession, but it's not a foolproof 100% indicator that yes, a recession is coming. Here we go. The economy did in fact weaken over the course of 2019, but then the Federal Reserve started cutting rates, the yield curve uninverted, and January's manufacturing survey came in at 50.9, a sign of a nascent economic recovery. As the stock market rallied though the end of 2019 and into 2020, it was easy to forget about that. The risks are obviously rising, says Michael Dardo, a market strategist. The coronavirus could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. That is just crazy though. Again, I'm going to show you the charts over here. Wow. S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ. It's just such a solid drop. Woo! Thanks everybody for tuning in today. I wanted to wish you guys a wonderful rest of your night. Happy March. It is March now. Woo! Stay safe. Road to 20K. Here we go. Leave a like, comment, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.